Don't be fooled by my acquired media accent. I'm actually quite common. Our group were working on Cadbury's, and the Cadbury's cream eggs in particular. And my bosses were working on the TV, so there was a requirement for a 30-second TV commercial. And then they said, look, there's a possibility, not necessarily, but that we're going to try and push some 48-sheet posters as well. To do a poster, you've got to really distill an idea down, especially if it's a visually led poster. It's got to be very, very simple. And that's why a really good visually led poster can sometimes turn into a fantastic 30-second commercial. Because generally, if you're not experienced, 30-second commercials get overwritten. So if you've got a really good simple little idea and then you just embellish that, it makes a lovely 30-second commercial. So I knocked out a load of 48-sheet posters. One of them, I thought that would make a lovely commercial. So not being a copywriter, and actually not having read a lot of scripts, because I'd only just been made a junior art director. I wrote this 30-second commercial based on my 48-sheet poster concept. And I wrote every single detail on it. Background, what was going on in the background, the colour of the houses, the dress that they were wearing, the lot. Of course, because I wasn't a writer. It ended up to be, I think it was 3.5 pages long. Immense detail. Storyboarded it all. Made a little animatic myself. Very rare to have a video camera then, but the Obernet had a video camera. They used to shoot their own animatic, so I used that, made an animatic. Because I wanted to make this thing. Anyway, my boss's noses were right out of joint because I was meant to be doing some poster concepts, not a 30-second commercial. But too late, the account group had seen it, it was liked, especially I had a bloody great big fully drawn up storyboard there, and it went into research alongside the bosses. But of course, they went outside and didn't use me as a visualizer. They went outside and used an expensive storyboard artist, got theirs finished up to a high level. Animatics went into research. Anyway, they come back out of research. My script goes through. It's stomped on theirs. The punters loved my script. They didn't like theirs. There was about 3 or 4 floating around there. I got top marks. And that, obviously that got questioned. Insofar as, well, Mark does these funny drawings. They think the drawings are funny. It's not the script, it's the bloody drawings. So they made me draw up their 3 commercials in my style, and it all got put back in research. And, I was a little bit miffed, but I thought, well, I actually thought mine was better. But I didn't stitch them up by doing bad drawings. I tried to draw theirs up well. Anyway, it all goes back into research again. And comes out again. He stomped theirs. Oh, I remember my boss's face now. He was bloody furious. Absolutely stomped theirs. So I get to make it, and it's a big number. It had a very famous comedian not at the time, he was past his best then, but in the 60s he was a big comedian, Charlie Drake. We got him out of retirement, got him in it. Big 16th century street scene built at Shepperton or Pinewood, some big studio, massive. That's where I met Chris Palmer, my partner, because he was shooting on the set next door for BBH. And, he'd walk past our set and come in and started talking to me. I didn't know him, he was a stranger. Started talking to me, made friends, because he just was knocked out by this big set. Anyway, we do it, it's bloody good. It got into D&AD. We heard it got into D&AD, got entered for a few awards. Finished up, really good. And that's the thing, I got to know Chris. Chris had only just stopped working with John Eggert. He was looking for an art director because Barbara Noakes had come back off of maternity leave, so Chris then needed a partner. He put me forward. It was that commercial that really got me my job at BBH, because the rest of my portfolio was roughs and concepts that had never really been made. And the annual hadn't come out at that point, really looking forward to it. It came up a couple of months later, but of course I get the annual, open it up, excited. First thing I got into the annual, right, okay, look at the credits, and there's my boss's name as the writer, there's my other boss's name as the art director, and the second art director is me. I'm sure it was just a clerical error. I'm sure it was some ill-informed PA who had got the names wrong after I'd left. I can't be angry at them. They're dead. I'm sure they didn't do it on purpose. But that just happens to be the first ad that I ever got in the book. It didn't matter, I had a job at BBH working with Chris Palmer at that point, so who cares? I can't show you the commercial. I think it's in the British Museum somewhere. It's so bloody old, or it's probably fossilised somewhere in the middle of a rock. No one's seen it since. They probably burnt every copy. Anyway, the end. You can't make stuff up like that.
And they said, well, maybe we could get something that looks like it. What is it? Is it a gel or a cream?